Hello, my name is Cindy, and thank you so much for coming to this video. This is the home of Can Do Math Tutoring. This is a tutoring program that I am working on, and I also have a program called Can Do Math Virtual Academy for Algebra 1. So if you're interested in some help for your students, please let me know. And please let me know your math needs below this video. This video is going to be all about, you know, how does math tutoring online work? And how can I do a math class on with a virtual teacher. Now, this program that I'm working on is not AI. This will be I am the teacher, and there are lots of teachers that are getting into this new world of teaching online. This means that you get to pick your teacher. You get to find a teacher that your student will click with and that can teach your student. It's also flexible. My Algebra 1 class will be 2 days a week with 1 day also for office hours for students to ask questions. And I also will be having a school account that's skool.com where I can kind of make that my home base for my classes. And this is a place where students can access my calendar, find out when their class is. If we change schedules, we can put the notes there. They can type in questions for the teacher. We can put extra videos in there if there are things that kids need help with. I suppose this could be for adults as well. This is Algebra 1 classes. This could be for 7th grade students through 10th grade students, depending on your student's level. So if a student is really advanced, we could put them right into Algebra 1 in 7th grade. And if, they've gotten behind, they could go into Algebra 1 in 9th or 10th grade, and we will be working together. I will be doing a kind of a trimester type program, and it's going to be 2 days a week with 1 day of office hours, more as needed. It can be flexible. So this is a really great thing for me as a teacher, also for students who, say you have a student that loves horseback riding and you want your student to ride horses for 3 days a week. They could do all their classes in 2 days, and then they could do their specialty activity for the other days of the week, or maybe in the winter for skiing, or whatever other types of activities that homeschool students might have. So this is not necessarily for students that, they want to make math their life's work, although it could work for that as well. But this is to be flexible for teacher and student to, we don't have the outside distractions of a classroom. The students can do their own work at their own pace. They have me as a teacher. It's a really great situation. And for this video, I just wanted to show you how I can teach using slides and help students to learn their math skills. I have found that in my experience, a lot of times with math skills, students are not really good at the foundations of the work, which means vocabulary, it means their memorization skills, their addition and subtraction memorization needs to be quick. Their multiplication tables need to be quick. Vocabulary needs to be very well known. And if they come into, say, 7th or 8th grade and they don't have a good foundation, that makes everything harder and harder. And then, they just give up because they think they hate math. But the truth is, they don't really know the language. And this is how I can start with teaching this type of language. This here is a Canva program that I put together, and this one talks about composite and prime numbers. And with these slides, I can talk to the students, I can ask them questions, we can talk about it. They can also write on the slide. I can write on the slide here, and when I'm on Zoom, I can also write using my Zoom tools. So I can do that. Then I can also press the back button. I can erase things. I can have definitions set up already. We can talk about these things. part of the practice of virtual teaching or any kind of math teaching is reviewing the vocabulary over and over and over, so students have a great sense of the vocabulary and they have it memorized. So when they're asked a question on a test, what are the factors of 6? They have no problem knowing what factor means. They write down the answer. The factors of 6 are 1, 6, 2, and 3. If I say, what are the prime factors of 6? There's another answer for that. We talk about composite numbers. What are composite numbers? What are prime numbers? Some questions. Is 0 composite or prime? We talk about this during the lesson. We can also review. And as I go through, I also have this prime numbers. We talk about prime numbers, which ones are prime, which ones are not prime. We talk about factors. We just use the vocabulary over and over and over and over again. And in this lesson, I also talked about the divisibility rules, and we typed those out and worked on those together. I can also go to a blank slide. We talk about the factors of 24. What are the factors? What are the prime factors? We went on to another page. We talked about multiplication of 9. And the idea is to make things easy for students, to make it so that kids can speak the language of math. And we can tailor make this to things that students need. We can also start at this lesson here is kind of the foundation for doing fractions, because we need to know the factors of numbers in order to find the least common denominator and the greatest common factor, which in algebra will be needed when we do factoring of polynomials. That is what we do at the end of algebra. And if they don't know what factors are and they don't have a good handle on numbers and the factors that make up every single number, they get to factoring and it's all the more difficult. You have to kind of go back in that case. So building a foundation for vocabulary, working with numbers, making it easy, talking about it, making it part of the student's mind and language. And the idea for math is not to just have math class for even 40 minutes a day. It's to make it a part of their thinking process. Factors and all of these types of things are also foundational for every single job that they're going to go into. If you're a cashier, you've got to know numbers. If you are going to run a business, you've got to know numbers. If you're going to do anything, you've got to have a good foundation of numbers. And that's what I want to help students with in this world today of Algebra 1. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you again soon in the next one.